by the more powerful people. The important point is that this should not suddenly make the Malik innocent. As stories allow more than one thing to be true, Malik may have been pressured and still make harmful choices, still have been afraid, and still continuing long after that. The original dangerous part she has created about the Nas, and she is still Nas. The right to the now her one pass, the complimency give Nas a real emotional problem is his soft and easy answer. Nas may ask why Malik did not tell her the later the question will be harder for the Malik to answer. Perhaps that the original danger prepares years ago, but that the lie has gone too large. Every years of the silence made confession more difficult. Mars may have convincing himself that believing that the trust will destroy Nas' life. In reality, she may also have been protected himself from the Nas' anger. Nas will notice that the difference. She may tell Malik that fear explain a decision but does not erase it. They will leave Malik deeply shaken because she is no longer horrified at the idea that everyone was done for the Nas. For the first time, she may admit that some of her silence was the selfish. The admissions could be the first honest movement between them. Nas may still walk away. Forgiveness should not be hidden immediately. Nas will find afterward, but he will not ask for every detail. He may simply understand from her face that the trust is more than she expected. She could spend time with him without speaking much. The relationship becomes stronger because Ami does not tell her plan into a conversation about himself. This is why important user will be watching his closeness in a completely difficult emotional state. Earlier he wanted Nas because he believed he could still win her, but now he will say that the door closing completely. If Malik has also turned against him, user can feel abandoned from every side. Ghalib is pulling away. Nas trusted her. Amir Malik is no longer easy control. His association is still alive. Rami may work given people who work for the user may be refusing him. A person like user may respond to this by searching for another sources of the control. The easier sources is information. He may begin using everything he know about that the past has a weapons. Perhaps user now that the Gali was involved in the event that separated Nas from the detail. He may not know every detail, but he could not large enough from the Malik or from all secret. Until now, he kept that the information because it gave earthly words. Once Malik stopped helping her, he won the releases part of it. This could create that the first mature twist of the new sections. Nas believes she has finally heard that the full story from the Malik. This is and the message arrived with the photograph date or document showing that the Gali was present at an important moment Malik did not mention. Man Nas immediately understand that the Malik is stealing, hiding something. Her need become more something. That she returned to the Malik and asked with her that the confession itself was incomplete. Malik may explain that she has avoided Ghalib's name because he mentioned him, places Nas in danger. Nas will hear that one another associated Nas that the secret become connected directly to the Amir enemy. Amir will be forced to take that the issue more seriously because Ghalib is not simply part of the Nas family history is a present threat. Nas may examine that the document and discover that it appears genuine. Sadhu may warn Amir that the user will be behind that the leak. This creates a difficult position. Even if the information is true, it is baby sources manipulated them. Amir has to the learns another information lesson. True information can still be used as a trap. User did not need to lie if that the trust itself can create cases. He could receive one the real detail that wait for Nas, Malik, Amir and the Ghalib to turn against each other. There will be a smarter form of the once Amir may recognize that the strategy and tell that the group not to the react before confirming everything. Nas, however, who struggles with the patience for her, this is not just another clue, it is her life. She may decide to approach Ghalib directly. Amir will strongly dislike that the idea. Instead, she offered to go with her. Nas may refuse because she wants Ghalib to speak to her as an individual, as an Amir partner. This created another test of the Amir growth. He agreed that bunch of the Sadhu to stay nearby without interfering. Unless growth wrong, Nas enter Ghalib will alone. Ghalib will not surprised to see her. Then itself could become a clue. Then he expected her. It meant he already knew that the secret was the breaking open. Gali may treat her. The claimly will make that the sense more unsettling. Unlike user, Gali did not need to show anger of the dangers. He may admit knowing Malik in the past, but claim he was responsible for the decision that the changed Nas' life. Naz will ask why his the name appear in the record. Gali may answer with another question or half trust. Deep will explain that he could help save that the problem at the same time, but we will not describe what kind of the problem. Naz will elicit his predicted someone. The conversation may reveal that the past involved money. Perhaps Malik needed financial help during a recorded period. Difficult. Perhaps someone once Ghalib. Perhaps an argument was he made. The important point in that the Naz belonged to understand that the Ghalib influencing existing long before Amir and the user currently worry. This creates a disturbing possibility when if the Ghalib did not simply enter their life recently when it was the shaping event on survival family for the years. Sami will become concerned when the nurse shares when she is learned. She may connect it Ghalib one old woman to the current problem about her son treatment money. At first, this seemed impossible. They might find a connection between an old financial account and that the person involved in the Hassan A case. This could be coincidence, but Ami will not ignore it. The story now began moving in a with investigation. Sadhu may ask Victor they are making that the mistake of seeing Ghalib everywhere. Amir agreed that they need evidence. The group helped prevent that the prediction from the turning Ghalib into the answer to every mysterious to the quickly since they follow that the practical trails might discover that the someone connection to the skill has the recently connected a person involved in the Hassan treatment founding. That does not Ghalib cases Hassan problem, but it proves he has been watched. Why would Ghalib care about the Hassan treatment? The answer may be Hassan Amir. If the Hassan remain financially supply, Amir become easier to the pressure. Ghalib may believe Amir can eventually be controlling through the responsibilities. He does not need Hassan to the dice or the suffer. He only need to the problem to make expensive through that the army feel the trap. The strategy is not colder than the user emotional attack. Amir user may have been that the only person using Hassan health against him. The knowledge will make him furious. But anger is exactly when the Ghalib accepts. Amir may surprise him by doing nothing immediately since he asks Mar to they keep following that the money. The new patient so hurt the for Amir has the chance. Amir notices Hassan that Amir is hiding something rather than waiting to discover it later. He asks directly. Insists of the protected Hassan through the silence. He respects her enough to share that the danger. Hassan may be shocked that the statement has become part of the power game. He may blame himself again. Some may stop him. The gift belongs to the people exploiting that the situation. Hassan dad make a surprising decision. He wants to the help investigate his knowledge of the hospital doctor appointment and the payment proof may give him information that the order did not have. This is a strong way to make Hassan active without ignoring his medical condition. He began review all message and noticed something strange. A person whose once offer help connected him before user only target that the treatment money. That means someone may have been watching earlier that they listed the contract use a difficult name and traces that the number belonging to the temporary phone connected to someone who once worked with the Ghalib. Now that the evidence becomes stronger, Samir wants to comfort Ghalib. Hassan tells him not to. The role reversal is important. Hassan becomes that the person defending patients. He agreed that the comforting Ghalib was only warned him. Amir listens. The problem's brother may financial that like his the partner. At the same time, Nas family mysterious move in another decision. Sazer may connect Nas against after hearing she met Ghalib. She is frightened seasons more now that the previous admit. She tells Nas that the Ghalib was not only the powerful person involved in the whole situation. There was someone else. The person has been approaching directly in the crime story. This can introduce a new hidden figure without immediately bringing a completely unreactive character in the center. The persons might be connected to the Galdi Boulder business life, Malik family or a past conflicts as they may refuse to give that the name over the phone she want to the maid. Now tell Amir this time they plan carefully that the meeting place is required. Sadhu watches from a distance. Sadhu may ready to the record information. Nas where Sazin does not arrive. At first, Nas thinks she changed her mind that the season phone goes online. Now, fear replaces frustration. When was the she stupid? Did she run? Did someone learn about that? The meeting Mali become terrified when she hears she says Sazi will not disappear without warning unless she believes she was in danger. The realizes that the shake immediately. Yusuf could be responsible, Ghalib could be responsible. One or the new hidden person from that the past could be responsible. For the first time, the places read are they cannot immediately connect to the one's enemy. Amir understands that your secret is more dangerous than he thought. Malik finally admitted that years ago several people agreed that the contained information has to remain hidden. She was not the only one that the changed Nas understanding again. The secret was not simply one woman saying it was a system of the silence. Nas asked who else was involved. Malik hesitated. Amir noticed Naz become angry. She said there can be more hesitations. Malik finally gave a name. This name may be name anything to the Naz, but it means something to the Ghalib. And Amir later mentioned it directly during a confrontation with the Ghalib. Ghalib reaction changed. For the first time, Ghalib looked generous, unsettled. Amir understands they have found something important. Ghalib immediately want to stay away from the past. He may even say that Yusuf is the dangerous, but that the people connected to the old stories are the voice Amir does not know whether it is a real warning or the manipulation. Either way, Ghalib's fear is new. A man who the case believes he controls every situation is now showing actions that the suggestion that the older secret reaching beyond his authority. Yusuf may overhear or learn about the Ghalib fear his opportunity. If the Ghalib is afraid of his hidden person, Yusuf can try to contact them. This is exactly that the kind of the reckless move Ghalib never approved. Yusuf want never powers he believing he can replace his Ghalib protection with another silence. This would become his the biggest mistake. The hidden persons may be used Yusuf as a partner. This can see him as a useful tool. Yusuf disappear to the feel powerful against who ignore that the dangers. He provide information about Amir Naz and the Malik in exchange. He receive help with the money, power or the access. For a short time, Yusuf appears stronger again. This can surprise Amir. Just when everyone believed Yusuf was collapsing, he suddenly has a new resolver. Sadu noticed that the difference Yusuf is using people and the method that do not belong to the Ghalib unusable network. Most is one of the new contact, the new connections of the old company that disappears years ago. That the company also appeared in the record about Nas past. Now that the connection become undeniable, Nas has the entered at the old war. He may not understand it fully, but it is a new part of it. Malik panics where she is learned. She tells Amir that Yusuf has no idea where he is rushing. Amir asks her to stop speaking in warning and finally explain everything. Malik receives she has reaching at the point where every hidden details make that the dangerous voices. She begins learning that the larger stories years ago, perhaps there will be financial or the family crisis involving someone close to the Malik. Ghalib offer a situation, but that the situation created dependence and other powerful people use that the dependence to the for decision. Na's identity or family connection become part of the arguments. Malik may have believed that the argument will be temporary since his time passed. The powerful people move on, remind Malik trapped by the lies. Sammy later become involved because he helped predict that the old story explained why he was willing to change that the DNA result. He was not simply helping Malik in the present, he was continuing a premise of the fear because that the past. Naz listened and they still seek her. The life become the secret because the nerd made agreement around her. She may ask with her everyone even consider when she would want. No one has a good lesser. He become that the heart of her emotional journey. She was the treating as the object of the problem, not the person more affected by it. Amir see how deeply he distrusts Amir. He may begin angry at the Malik, but now did not need to fight that the battle for her. She tell him that she want Amir respect him. Their bond grow again, so the resistance. Meanwhile, his investigation into the treatment many continue. He and the one discovered that the financial offer made to the Hassan were involved to the old network where pair in the Nas story. This is a mature turning point. The part is the only about the Nas. The network still operated. Ghalib may be the part of it, but perhaps he is no longer fully in the control. This will explain why he was feel powerful and the actions he may has building his influence inside a larger system. Now that the system is waking up because Amir and the Nas are pulling at the old thread, Amir listens Hassan medical problem may have become useful to them because it gives them a way to reach him. That means the offer of the money was never generosity, it was the resistance. Someone waiting Amir depended. Why? Maybe that of football, maybe because of the Nas, maybe because of the old connection army does not now. This is where that the story can introduce another mysterious about the Amir one pass without immediately solving it. Nas Ghalib may know something about the Amir family. Amir could discover this before Amir does. This will give user a new options. He may send Amir has the old photograph showing one of the Amir relative with the Ghalib or the hidden figures. Amir intentionally think it is a fake. Hassan recognized that the person now that the group shift again the war is only way about the Nas past. Amir finally may also be the connected. Hassan could remember hearing a name when he was the younger relative, may have the warned them never to the trusted someone at the same time. It means nothing, but it becomes important. Amir start asking questions at the home. Older family members become uncomfortable again, silence appears. Amir suddenly experiences what Nas has been feeling. People tell him not to dig into the past. They see it only case problems. Amir listens how frustrated at the sound. He now understands Nas on the deeper level. He tells her what he found. Instead of the feeling happy that the Amir finally understands, Nas becomes free worried. She does not want his life pulled into that the same darker. Every point out this is may be connected. This creates a new partnership. Nas investigates her family history. Amir investigates this part keep crossing at the same time. One name against and against. Ghalib another pair left often but always natured more decision. The hidden person may begin building a telling name. Years ago, Maris crisis occurred soon after a company connected to the hidden person made payments. Ghalib appeared in the similar meeting. Nas history was changed on the hidden. Later, Amir family has become financial or the personal conflict. Altı, Üstü, Istanbul, the trap around Amir and the beginning of the user collapse. Altı, Üstü, Istanbul entered his the next chapter with almost every important character standing at the dangerous turning point. The previous part did not simply end with one problem waiting to be solved. It left similar secret broken relationship, many problems. Family questions and that the personal worries moving through at the same point. Amir and his friend were almost under great pressure because Hassan treatment depending on memory and can be afforded to the loss when the memory become part of the user cruel game that the conflict stopping being only about pride. It become a fight for Hassan. Futures Amir could accept many attacks against himself, but once that the people he loved because that the targets his way of the thinking changing at the same time another secret was growing quietly in the background. The trust connected Malik and the Nas came dangerous clung to the being exposed but Rami influencing in the DNA result and delayed that the discovery that the final show comes when the Isra openly accused user of being responsible for something much darker that the neighborhood had imagined. This is even the strongest foundation for what that happens now. The official preview also make clear that this confession increased suspicion around user. Nas faces seasons about that the past. Amir becomes Nas main sport user turned Malik's sport when he cannot reach Nas and the new plan connected to the match put Amir in a difficult position. For this point, my prediction is that the story will stop protecting user from the consequence of his action. Until now, he has often believed that the money, family power, fear, and the clever planning could keep him safe in the next phase. This is some tools may start working against him. The most important trend after that, the previous part will probably be that the way people look at the user. Before each association, many people could see that the user was the danger, jealousy, angry, and willing to cross line, but there will still uncertainty for him to the high before his the family name. Some people fear him, some distracted him and some prefers not to becomes involved as some more trained that the balance and association made openly in front of the other people cannot easily be worried even if the user denies everything. The question has already entered everyone's mind from this matter. Every old event connected to user can be reviewed differently. Every certain actions, every threat, every unexplained disciplines, every attack on the armies and every plans involving many can be suddenly look like part of the larger partner user biggest problem. Therefore, may not proving that one that the association is the false. His bigger problem is that the many people already that deceive to believe it could be true. This is the next day can become more dangerous for him. A person who feels protected by his reputation remains calm. A person who sees that the reputational feeling become unpredictable usually may become mistake because he is trying to control too many problems at once. My prediction is that the user first reaction will not beat that the simple emotional collapse. He will try to fight that the sessions using that the method he understands first. He may attack research credibility, questions her the motive, bring her the past and create a difficult story that make her look unreliable. He understands that he can make people doubt Isra. He can buy himself name, but at the time maybe that the only thing he can buy is now. Amir and his son have already started following clue and that the official setup tell her that the investigation is coming hidden too closer to the explosive that the main user will be fighting in two decisions. On one side, he is the must stop his association from becoming accepting as the trust. On the other side, he must prevent Samir's shadow murder and the other from the hiding evidence connected to his recent action. His the pressure can make user more the aggressive, but it can also move him careless. Until now he can be confronted from another people not knowing where to the look. When several people begin looking at him at the same time, but the some detail he ignored can become important. Amir meanwhile likely to the approaching that the situation differently. The previous events have slowly thwarted him that the running directly toward every problem can the place that the people around him the danger angers. He is the small emotion and he never become a cold people that had accepted that the next part to show a confronting Amir's understand condition has changed that the meaning of the fight. I mean no longer have that the theory of the treating user has only has a rival. He need result, he need money, he need information, he need to keep his friends safe. More importantly, he cannot allow anger to make him close sight of the Hassan treatment. This can create an interesting difference between user and the Amirs. User may become more emotional because he is losing control, while Amirs may become more careful because he has too much to the loss. The reversal could be one of the stronger development in the coming story. This serve for the Hassan money can remain at the center of the Amir action. In the previous story, Samir and his friend moved against Yuse and the Ghalib. After Hassan treatment, many was disturbed taken out of their deed. The issue cannot simply disappear because a new association has appeared. In fact, a association may give Amir another reason to believe that the Yuse behavior is a part of the something much bigger. Instead of tracing only that the missing many, Amirs may begin connecting several separated events. He could discover that the attack on the money was not simple revenge. It may be handful decide to the force him into disappear before that the important match. A disappear is easier to manipulate because his attention is divided between that the files Hassan Nas, his friend and growing war with the Ghalib side. This is why I believe that the match will be much more than the sport. Even the official preview especially places Amir under pressure after user make another move on the match day. The strongest suggested that the user and the Malik new plan will use that the match has the trap rather than the simply trying to defect Amir clearly. The trap could weak on the similar level. Amir may be forced to choice between helping Hassan and the staying with his team. He may receive information at the worst possible moment. Someone close to him may be placed in the danger, so that he lived at the match. Evidence may be planted to make it appear that the Amir has broken a rule, or an attack could be organized outside that the situation while everyone attacked is focused on the game. What makes that the situation powerful is that the user knowing football is not just a hobby for the Amir. It is connected to that the identity and the future. If user can damage Amir through the football, he can attack about his the dream and his family responsibility at the same time. However, I do not think his plan will give user a clean victory. This series has spent too much time showing that the strength of the Amir friendship for the next development to the suddenly make him completely helpless. Sadhu and the mud will become extremely important. Sami may be the person standing in the center, but his the biggest strength has in our money or the family influencing. His biggest strength is that he does not fight alone. This is exactly what the user repeatedly misunderstands. User may relationship has told that can be controlled. Amir sees responsibility as the relationship that must be protected. When one of the Amir friend fails, when other becomes stronger, when someone of the usual alliance become weak, immediately being wondering whether that the person will betray him. The difference will matter more than the one. Now Shadow may bet that the first person to notice that something about the match situation is the wrong. He has seen Amir rush into trap before and he understands that the way usually operating is of flowing Amir to react immediately. Sadhu may push him to side, look at the bigger picture. Mud can become useful in following that the practical detail. One friend may remind never Hassan while another stay close to the Amir, creating a system that the prevent user from controlling all of them who can move. In other words, that group can finally believing like that the team away from the football field. This will be that the development because their friendship has already been tested by the fair money Hassan situation and the damage surrounded Amir. The next challenge should show that this test has been that the smarter instead of moving more. The royal Hassan himself may also become more important than the viewer expected. His medical situation has been everyone act around him, but Hassan is not the type of the character who will also remain uncomfortable when he's trying himself, trying to solve him. When he understands how far Amir and the other are willing to go, guilt may begin affecting him. He may feel that his treatment has become that the reason everyone is pulling into that the wall. The feeling could cause Hassan to make that the dangerous decision. He might try to stop everyone from risking everyone from that the memory. He may hide information about his one condition because he does not want Amir to lose that the match or destroy that his future. This will make that the situation even more painful because Amir will understand that Hassan is trying to sacrifice himself with Amir is trying to sacrifice everything for the Hassan. The emotional bond between the brother can therefore become one of the strongest part of the coming story. The relationship has already survived serious damage, fear, secret, and the disappear movement. Now that the conflict may become less about whether they love each other and more about what he love required for them. Sami believe protected Hassan as fighting using a solution is found. Hassan may begin believing that protected Amir being refusing to let Amir lose his interior future of his sake. Neither position is the simple and neither brother is the completely wrong. This can create emotional distance without destroying their bond. Hassan may believe angry because Amir refuses to the listen. Amir being frustrated because Hassan treated his one life as if is less vulnerable. The tension between them will not need an outsider enemy to the feel powerful, but the Amir is growing Hassan problems. Naz will be entering another painful stage in her one story. The official preview stay had the confrontation with the Sassy, more information about the past and the leave Naz deeply hurt, whilst Amir become her main sport. This is a major turning point because Nas has been surrounded by incomplete trust. She said that the people are hiding things, yet every new answer seemed to create two more questions. The coming confrontation may finally convince her that the confession around her family is not accidental. Someone he made a deliberate effort to keep her away from the trust. When he accepted the possibility, Naz may stop waiting for Dal to explain everything and begin searching on her. One season is likely to reveal enough information to the her Naz without revealing that the interior secret. This is a common point where that the story can increase tension instead of ending that the mysterious to the early. Nas may learn about an event from the past, a hidden relationship, a decision must around her, the birth or a family conflict that completely changed that the way she sees someone close to her. She might that learn that the story she has believed since childhood was carefully added, that the most important connected to her immediately to the Malik may remain hidden because Rami has already influenced into the DNA test in the previous past Rami training that the result especially to stop that the connection from being discovered. The move may succeed for the short time but can also create a new weakness. A false report is not at the end of the secret. It is a physical evidence that someone has manipulating that the trust. Ravi may believe he has solved that the problem by changing that the report, but I think he has actually created that the part that will eventually expose him. Before that the changing, he will stay in the background and pretend he knew something. Now he has the personality active. Now they will be recorded timing, contact, missing document, chain paperwork, or people who enacted notice behavior, even if no one immediately discovered when he did. The first result with the great contradictions. Nas may compare that the result with someone saying tell and elicit that the two things cannot both be true. Malik may remember details from the past. They do not fit the report. Another task may eventually be requested. The moment that happens, semi-secret action becomes much harder to protect. I protect that the Nas will be immediately discovered that the trust about Malik sees the next stage will make her the suspicion that the DNA stat in itself that cannot be trusted. It will be that the more aggressive development because it gives Nas an active role rather than someone simply telling her that the trust she can become earning that the trust be following role. Amir may help her with the investigation and that the share it should bring them the closer in the natural way. Their glowing connection should not depend only on romance. It may because that the same person who is the help Nasser without trying to control when he leaves. She can begin trusted him at the much deeper level. This is where that relationship between Amir and the Nas may finally move forward. The official material already signals stronger closeness and the first step toward a relationship, but I do not expect their part to become peaceful. Their closeness is happening at the worst possible time. Amir is surrounded by the user plan. Hassan treatment problems, Nas dealing with the painful family discovering and the growth sense that everyone has hidden something from her. Normally to the people carrying so many problems with the struggle to be stable, yet this will exactly when the connection can become stronger. They are not feeling toward each other because life is easy. They are becoming important to each other about needed. One place they do not have to predict Nas may side of the army that is difficult from the aggressive image created by his enemies. He already now is the reality, but she can see his the patient when she become angry about that. The past army may not try to give her easy answer. He may simply stay near her and help her continue searching. This can become more than the dramatic romantic moment. Nas has spent too much years surrounded by the people deciding where she should now. Amir can become important because he gives that the decision back to her. He can help without controlling that. The difference is likely to push the relationship forward. For Amir, can Nas also become more than the person he wants to be protective. She may become that the person who forces him to think before he acts. When that the match the trap closest around him, Nas could be that the reason he did not immediately run directly into Nas' hand. Her family may push her Amir release. Something important about that the Hassan Nas now advert is the real like that the people closer to your hide information about they believe they are protected you. Samir may suddenly understand that he is doing something similar to the Hassan if he refuses to explain how dangerous his plan has become in this way. The Nas stories and the Hassan story can quietly influence each other without repeating that the same conflict. But their growing relationship will be extremely difficult for user to accept. The official preview makes it especially important because user trying to turn toward Nas while he is emotionally falling apart, but that their time fail after does he goes to the Malik. This is likely to be that the moment when the user realizes that the Nas is no longer emotionally available to him in the way he once imagines. Losing power in the neighborhood is painful for the user. Loving Nas can reaching her the closer to the Amir will feel personal. It can turn his worry with the Amir into someone more destructive. User feeling for the Nas has never been separated from his need to the control. This is why rejection can affect him so strongly. He does not see him closer as the person Nas closing. He see Amir as the person who taking away that the same user believing should belong to him. The respect of the childhood, the loyalty of the friend, the dream connected to the football, and now Nas trust all this seem to move toward Amir. The feeling can make user dangerous, but it can also reveal how weak he can become. A confident user keeps planning, the disappear user may start reacting. Malik will notice that the weakness immediately when user turn to her. I do not think she will become only an emotional supporter. Malik is also crying anger, fear, and her one goal. The official material make clear that the one vulnerable character emotionally damaged user and the Malik continue planning. Their means with the relationship will likely become a dangerous alliance built on need rather than the trust. User needs someone who still stands near him after that. The rest of the neighborhood turns suspicion. Malik needs someone with need power enough to her the control even that are moving beyond her the reach. They may appear unity, but both will be watching that the other carefully. Malik biggest problem is that the secret around Nas cannot stay hidden forever. Every action taken to protect it increases that the danger. Semi has already trained that the DNA report, but Nas it is asking question about that the past assassin is a part of the confrontation used emotionally unstable. Ras has starting exposing secret. Amir and his friends are searching for the hidden trust. This means too many people are moving through that the same web. Malik may decide that the simple hiding that the trust is no longer enough. She may need a bigger destruction. The match can become that the destruction if Amir is publicly blamed from a serious movement. Attentions move away from Nas question if that the neighborhood become divided by amateurs football scandal. People may stop looking at the Malik for the short period. If the Hassan treatment situation become even worse, Amir will have to time to investigate that the family secret. For this reason, I predict that the Malik sport use a match plan not only because she wants Amir hurt, but because Amir defect her protect one our secret, then trust temporarily become that the same. The plan could involve creating that the situation where Amir appears selfish or dishonest, using now that the directly attracting Amir has often make the become Amir more popular because people see him as the weakness. A smarter strategy will be the damage the way others see him. Sport Hassan urgently needs something on a match day. Sport Amir is given false information making him believe Hassan is safe. There's someone wrong while Amir remain on that the field. User could try to make it appear that the Amir closely football over his brother. Even if the story is the false, the emotional damage will be serious. Hassan misunderstood people in the neighborhood might question Samir himself might feel guilty. Another possibility is that the using that the missing treatment money as a part of the trap. Amir could be told that the monies will be returned only if he follow certain instruction. The timer could force him to choose between that the match and the Hassans. Amir will know that the trusting user is the dangerous, but he might have no immediately option. This will feed user style because he is the preferred. Situations where that the other person make that the painful choices, yet I believe Amir will surprise him. Instead of crossing one side and losing that the other, Amir may rely on his friend to divide that the problems. One person follow that the memory with Amir staying connected to the match. This will show that the Amir has the finally learned how to the reflect user method. User prepares plan may therefore work only partly. Amis could face a serious problem, but not at the complete destruction user expert. The plan may even expose one of the user helpers when the trap become complicated. More people, more participated. And every helpers make that the problems of a trap become complicated. Another changing for the information to the league, someone connected to the stadium, the club, Galip and the user could become nervous. The person may not directly confused, but a certain action, phone call, payment or message may be noticed to the Amir group. Gali positions will be especially interesting. He has enough experience to understand that the user is becoming unstable. Gali is the reckless, but the ruthlessness is the different from the carelessness. If the user action begins hitting Gali one position, reputation or the business interest, Gali may decide it at the positions himself. It does not mean that he will suddenly spot Amir. More likely, Gali will try to create distance between himself and the user world section. He can claim that the user act immediately. He may even quickly remove evidence connected himself to the curtain plan. User will notice that the distance become another source of fear for him. When the powerful people become stopping away from someone in the trouble, that the person understand that the protection is the disappear. User may that attempt to prove his uselessness by even more aggressive against Amir. This can create at the cycles where every plan pushes him toward a more dangerous one. Gali may also start looking at the Amir differently. He does not need to the like Amir to recognize his strength. Amir has the survive pressure that could have the destroy him in continued active reality without many. His friends start beside him even when doing so put them in danger. Are much closer to him. The neighborhood increases. He has someone willing to fight for the other. For Gali point of view, where he is make Galip understand in the way user may not understand. Power based on the fear disappear. When that the fears disappear, power back on loyalty is much harder to the remove. For the reason Ghalib Nasrallah may not to the destroy Amir physically, he may try to separate Amir from that. The people who give his strength, Hassan is not weak, Lance Nas is another sad one, but are also important. Ghalib may also advise user to attack this relationship instead of attacking Amir directly, yet user emotional state could prevent him from following that the plan carefully. The worry may therefore create tension between Ghalib and the user themselves. Tariq can become important during that the shift further development only plays different sides against each other. When Tariq making choices about when he stand, the growing conflict about Amir and the user and the Ghalib gives Tariq more reason to recognize when he is willing to be sport. He may not fully join Amir's side immediately, but he could refuse to participate in someone that crosses a finer moral line. Something that the most important betrayal is not that the character changing teams, it is a person refusing to obey at the exact moment their sport is needed. This should happen on the match day. Using expert Tariq or another sally to complete one part of the plan, but that the person may hesitate after seeing that the real consequence. If Hackens lie or the army future replaces in the direct danger, the situation become harder to treat as the normal worry. The refusal could give army not enough time to escape that the trap. Asa may also play a much larger role than the simply making that the association. Her panic more means when she decided silence is more dangerous than the speaking. When that the character crosses at the line, it becomes difficult to the return to quiet fear. She may possess information she has read immediately. The association against user could have only that the first species. I believe Asa may now become to the target. User cannot allow her to continue taking freely. However, directly attacking her would make him look even more suspicious. So his response may be physiological and that the social he may try to isolate her, may people doubt her, the memory or pressure someone close to her. The goal will be make Issa with the dad the association herself. These plans may fail because that the neighborhood has the chance. Earlier someone treated by the powerful family could easily feel alone. After everyone that has happened around Hassan and the army, people are beginning to understand that the silence only gives user more control. Even the Cs who are more or less willing to the ignore when they have seen its association can become because that the first crack in a larger wall of this island. One person may remember and an old event that suddenly makes sense. Another may admit that the user threatened him. Someone may be the real same hints in a place he denied visiting. None of this detail alone has to prove everyone together. They make user defenses weaker. The kind of the flows collapse will be more effective than was suddenly pieces of the evidence. Because user will have to the watch his work closest around him step by step. Amir may intentionally avoid becoming divided, involving in the East association because Hassan and the match require his attention, but when he releases that the associations with his one interaction, he will probably help protect Isra. The again give user another reason to hate him. Every person user try to control seem to find sport near Samir, yet Amir may be careful. He decided to protect people can see be the against him. User may deliberately create civil emergency at the same time because he now Amir cannot connect it, ignores someone in the dangers. Hassan need help, Nas need support, Hassan need protection, the teams need Amir and his friend are exposed to the danger. No person can be everywhere. The real trap against Amir may because the association user may not need Amir to make one the mistake. He only need him to become tired enough to make a small one. This is where Nas could become essential. Instead of being another person Amir must save, she has refused that the rule ship can become investigate season and that the DNA mysterious herself. She may even help his understanding when it feel like to the carries a trust no one be here. This would setting some pressure on the Amir and show that their personality relationship becoming a partnership rather than the issue story. Nas growing independence will also create a new problem for the Malik. Malik may be prepared for the Asma asking question, but she may not be prepared for the Nas helping becoming determined. It is easier to mislead someone who still trusts you when Nas become examining every answer. Small inconsistencies become dangerous. Malik may make that the mistake of giving too many explanations. The more she tried to control Nas' understanding of the past, The more suspicious Nas became, the key moment came close when the Nas learned that the someone interfered with the DNA test. She may not immediately know Nami was the responsible. She could discover that the trust passed through unexpected hang, the worker, doctor, document number, or the timing differently was revealed. And the report was not the handles normally. This would change that the mysterious from an emotional question into someone's secrets. Nas could no longer be wondering whether her feelings are wrong. She would know someone actively tried to stop her from learning something. At that point, Amir will probably tell her to continue clarifying because this is trained that the report clearly has the strong reasons. Naz may become even more determined. She has spent too much of her life living inside other decisions, finding her dad is someone in her control that the trust meant to reveal that the trust could make her the furious. Ravi's furious will grow as soon as he notices Naz is looking again. He may promise Malik will warn her that the first report will not survive another investigations. Malik will blame him for the failing to close that the problem completely, that the conflict may begin breaking, that the aliens protected, that the secret Sammy may then consider telling that the trust himself before someone everyone exposed when he did. This is another reason I do not think that the Malik Nas connection will stay hidden for a very long time. This story is how too many see characters trusting that the secret. The question is no longer whether it will come out. The real question it will reveal it another wet the clusters. My prediction is that the next reason part will not give that the full reward at the beginning. Instead, it will move Nas very close to the trust while focused at the main action on the march and the army trap. The family revelation may be safe from the final moment or the following step because that the emotional effect will be greater if Nas feels that the army is the only person she can trust, that the learning that the Malik is connected to her in a way she never imagined will turn her interior world upside down. Malik tool is the match plan make that the future evil even more painful. Imagine us finally discovering their connection after Malik has just helped Tuesday place Amir in the danger. Nas will not simply have to decide it a family trust. She would have to be asked why someone so close manipulated why willing to her that the person who supported her when everyone else was delaying. Malik may have reason that makes sense to her. She may believing she is protected her son as another person from an older secret. She may think relieving that the trust will destroy Sewell's life, but good intentions cannot every harmful action. This series seems to be moving toward a point where character must face not only when he did but also has the attempt to find that the past cases in the present. Nuse and the Malik partnership will therefore carry on the important weakness. Malik is the thinking about the secret and the survival. User is the thinking about the damage and the Nas. Their goal overlap only temporary one that the plan become dangerous enough to the threaten Malik's secret directly. She may abandon User. User however will see that as the betrayal. It Malik provide that the match plans and someone wrongs. User may blame her if she tried to stop him because he does not fire. He misusing her or fusing him. The aliens can turn into another sources of the information. You Malik become angry partner over reveal each other's secret. The match itself will likely begins when the army already emotional tired has said situation remain uncontained. Nas has become learned painful information. Amir Rainful Association has increased tension in the neighborhood. User is under suspicion but still dangerous. Amir will understand that someone is coming yet he may not from which decision. At first the game may seem normal. This can create a false sense of that the safety. Amir will try to divert the focus because every football has always been that the places where his mind becomes clear. For the short time he may feel like someone against the climb may feel make that the interruption more the affected. This is the first sign of the trap may arrive. It could be a message around Hassan. It will be about the memory. It will be that the problem involving Nas. However, from it take the important point is that the Amir will be focused to the quietly. Amir might have run away from the film immediately. This time expect him to look towards Sadhu or Murd and realize that he is not alone. He can trust someone else to investigate while he remains focused. The small decision focus. These small decisions could show how the army has the grounds. Army user will become frustrated when the army does not react as he expected. He may then attribute that the second part of the plan, the second step will be more dangerous because it was meant. has a backup method than that the original move. The more user improves that the greater that the changing his leave evidence per someone enter Hakan hospital room enter false reasons per that the money is the move against per the document connected to the army is the planted. The exact movements can vary, but that the ghost will reveal that the same push Amir out of control. Hassan may learn about that the trap before Amir draws. If it happened, he could live at the same places where everyone except him to the remind Hassan is believing he can stop that the plan by forcing someone directly or recovering that the money himself. This will create that the worst possible situation for the army because that the person he is trying to protect will enter dangerous. I think her decision will come from the false no stability. He cannot continue watching army risk everything. He can believe if he personality solve that the memory problems, army may fishing and the match and keep his the dream alive. Unfortunately, they understand emotional weakness very well and could predict that the Hassan will try someone like this. This setup has the possible moment where Hassan becomes that the real center of the trap. User may accept army to live at the once, but he discover Hakan is missing or in danger. The Imperial could be decided around that the reaction. But here is that the previous experience of army group can change that the outcomes Sadhu may already be following as a might may have noticed a suspicious person. Nas may clue from this season information to someone involved civil storyline can suddenly meet. Instead of the one hearing saying everyone, the group can solve different parts at the same time. This will fit that the deeper team of Altı Üstü Istanbul Amir trend is not that he can defect every powerful enemy alone. His strength is that his loyalty create loyalty around him. User that see him clearly when his plan being failing. The people he would make apart under pressure and sees more together. He one side meanwhile become less stable. Malik is the protected secret. Ghalib is the protected himself. Other helper are fried. No one is fighting for the user simply because they love him. These realizations may hurt more than losing that the match for the first time. User may understand why Amir keeps surviving. Money can hurt people, pressure can control people, and the fear can silence people. But none of this is secret that the kind of the loyalty surrounded Amir. This does not mean user will immediately changing. In fact, that the opposite is more likely. Releasing when he lack make him every anxious. He could convincing himself that destroy Amir is that the only way to stop feeling like a failure. The final part of the match they conflict may therefore become physically dangerous. Using beyond that the plan Malik originally gave him. If this the first step does not destroy Amir, it may personality interfere. Ghalib may not stop him, not because he suddenly care about Amir, but Jose is creating too much risk. Jose may ignore him that the movement could show that the Ghalib is the beginning to lose control over that the person he created association will return at exactly the wrong time of the user. While he is best trying to defect Amir, someone may discover evidence supporting what the site it could that be recording witness subject location record or connection to the earlier event. It does not have to be enough for immediate legal consequence. It only need to prevent that the impossible to the dismiss. User can turn from that the match expected to control that the story only to find that the neighborhood is no longer listening to him. People who once look away, who may look directly at him with this suspicion. This will be the beginning his true collapse. Not losing money, not losing a game, not even losing Nas, losing control of the story people believe about him. Nas will probably be enough. This is people watching him differently, fusing, trying one again to reach her the emotionally. She may finally make clever because her the action that she no longer trusts him. She does not know the dramatic speech, simply standing beside Amir while uses associated says everything. This image can become one of the strongest symbols is that the something Amir may be associated worried about the Hassan and contain about their future, yet he may be have money and the power, yet he stand emotionally alone. Malik may notice that the chain has while she may elicit that continue to the connect herself with user is becoming dangerous. She could begin preparing and escape from the Allison's user, however, may already know too much about the Malik that becoming a new problem. She cannot simply leave without considering when he might reveal. They could push Malik into another serious mistake to stop Yusuf for exposing her the secret. She may offer him new information about Amir or Dinah's every time to protect himself, pull her deeper into that the conflict. Amir will face the problems. DNA reports seem like the solution, but now it tried him directly to the secret. He could quietly with the proof of her involvement has prediction for the himself. The secret were surrounded by the people collecting insurance and others. Once he is the biggest person become almost contained. My prediction is that the document connected to the DNA test will eventually reach by the accident rather than the truth. A planned confession, someone may drop it, send it to the wrong person or hide it somewhere. Amir friend Retha search for information about another issue. This will be expensive way to connect that the family mysterious will be fight against Yusuf. Imagine Sadhu and this Malik may bout for the evidence about that the memory of finding something involving ramming. At first they do not understand what it the matters and they do not recognize the same or the day suddenly that the serve for the Hassan treatment made directly into the mysterious of the Nas family. The kind of the crossover will make that the story feel much bigger because the plot will no longer operate separately. Using why Hassan has Nas identity, Malik's secret and Amy's life will become part of the same chain. Caesar made that the person who confirmed that the Nas suspicion is the secret after their confrontation leave. Nas hurt and the Caesar may feel guilty about not saying anything. She should contact Nas again before that the second meeting happens. Malik or the Rami may discover why Caesar is the planning. This creates another race to control that the trust. Amir may want to stay away because that the situation is the dangerous. Nas will refuse because he is trying to ever making choices of her. This can create their first serious conflict after becoming closer. Importantly, the conflict does not need to separate them. Samir can see that the trying to protect it Nas by controlling her will not different from that the people who has hidden her the past. She may apologize through her action by choosing to accompany her rather than the stopping her. This will make real growth in the relationships. Love in that the story should not only become the Nas protector while Nas wait. It will remain or become stronger because that the other respect their choices. The same lesson may later help Amir with the Hassan. He cannot force Hassan to accept prediction without listening to what Hassan wants. Their brotherhood must become more equal. Hassan, after surviving that the immediately marched their dangers, may finally tell Amir that they refuse to be the reason Amir destroyed their future. Amir will have to hear that the instead of the simply dismissing it. Perhaps Hakan also Amir to the fishing when they are starting to gather play. Fight for that the teams and they stop treating Hassan less as the end of the every day in this school amid new motivation. The statement memory still be to be solved. Of course, I do not think that the series will simply make it disappear. One possibility is that the group recover only part of the account. The create series of hope but the keep pressure life and the possibilities that the Ghalib recently allowed that the money to the return not from the kindness but as a part of a larger strategy. If Ghalib become viewing Yuse as a liberty he could weaken Yuse by doing one of the glorious action. Amir will not now Ghalib's help, giving Ghalib's a new position in that the conflicts. Ghalib will that the exploiting Amir indirectly with an offer. This will be extremely dangerous because Amir need money when hide that the idea of the becoming controlled by the same powerless people who refuse many of his problem if Ghalib offer help for the Hassan. In exchange for the armies making a football decision, Amir will face another moral test. These solutions will carry that the highest personal cost. I predict Amir will refuse a direct deal because he understands that the acceptance Ghalib help will create are deep. However, he may not immediately tell Hassan offer that the against him do something for protect his rival who repeat that the pressure theme eventually Hassan could discover it and become angry that the Amir rejected a chain to help him. The difference is that the Hassan might that the understand Ghalib real goal and that the sport army decision. This can turn unexpected argument into that the moment of the unity. User may appear about the Ghalib connected army and feel betrayal. He may believe Ghalib is placing her with the person he hate most. He cared that the serious surprise because User and the Ghalib even if the Ghalib insist that the contract was security. User jealousy will make him the suspicion. User one becoming distracted him Ghalib he lost and the sources of the prediction. He may start acting without permissions. Malik may encourage his independence because it make easier for her to the influence. If user stop listening to the Ghalib, Malik immediately because that the person who planned he become. But Malik will soon understand that crawling and the unstable user is much harder than using that the confident ones. User can become damaging information about Nas. Malik may refuse he could remind her of the secret now. The relationship may become that the quiet battle where every person tweeted that the other without saying it openly. Meanwhile, Amir close investigation will come closer. Fran may trace one of the people involved in the money. This will could reveal that the other does not completely directly for the user. This is important because it may connect that the plan to someone Amir did not expect. Malik involvement because visible for the first time. Amir will be shocked because his main focus has been using and the Ghalib learning that the Malik actively helped created a plan against him, changing the way he understand that the interior solutions. He may intentionally hide his information from the Nas because he now she is already emotionally hurt, but that the choice will be dangerous. If Naz discovers Amir keep information about Malik from her, she could feel that this even Amir is stopping decision what the trust she can handle. Therefore, I think Amir will immediately choosing honestly. This can separate him from everyone else in the Naz life. He may tell her that they found even when he now it could hurt their new relationship. Nas will appraising that he trusted her with the trust. The movement can make her there stronger than any romantic scene. Nas can become seeing Malik through the completely difficult lens. She may remember all reactions, straight questions, emotionally moment, and explain concern. Places that once seemed random will start fighting together. Nas may not know the exact relationship yet may also become certain that Malik has the personal connection to her past. The full DNA report will not be even more the suspicion. At this stage, Ramis can no longer remain invisible. Nas may approaching him directly. Ramis could deny everything at first, but Nas will notice her fear in his reactions. He may give one detail while trying to protect that the larger secret. The detail will be enough for her to continue. This is how that the new civil story development can be buried without repeating that the same mystery. Every revelation changing that the direction rather than the simply reminding viewer that the exact these stories around Isra should work that the same way. Her association is not that the final answer, it is the beginning of the chain where witness for part of her climb another detail connected user that one pieces are contract Isra giving user temporary hope. User may use that the contradiction to the public attract and convince himself he has won, but that the contradictions could later be revealed as something he or the Galiparent creating stronger evidence of a cover-up. This gives that the conflict moment is of a simple straight line. Amit may become increasingly confused. User is the hiding more than anyone's now. Still, he also allows revenge to become his one goal. Sessa may remind him of that either directly through his reaction or simply by hiding him. Nas will also keep focus. His spot can prevent Amit from becoming a mirror image of the user. That difference is important about characters. Young men can be angry about can feel hurt about can make mistake, but the army story is about learning to carry pain without turning it into cruelty. User story is about repeatedly turning pain into control. The next part may place them in the similar emotional situation to the viewer can see that clearly. User feel rejected to the Nas and attacked at the person around her. Ami fear losing Nas, but the fear had the freedom to serve for the trust. User feel Galip losing trust and becoming more aggressive. Ami feel his friends requesting, questioning that his people and listen to the learn. Uses seen and contains the vulnerability has a weakness. Uses slowly learn that the admitting fear can make his relationships stronger. The match between that the perfect place to show this difference. Football requires trust. No player can control that the interior field alone. Amil understand that the naturally. User may understand strategy but not trust. This is why his plan can be clear and the still face the strongest prediction for that the end of his section of the story is therefore not that the army defect user completely. It is that the place is balanced moving permanently. User will probably still has enough power to create more the trouble. Malik's secrets will not be fully solved immediately. Hassan's health may require and contains Gali will still be dangerous, but similar thing will change in the say that cannot easily be resolved. Amir association will make that the neighborhood questions use the openly. Nas will move emotionally closer to the Amir while moving further away from the user. Now search into that the past will make that the forced DNA report increasing difficult to the protect. Malik and the user partnership will become more the dangerous because about the disappear. Gali will become thinking about predicting himself rather than the protected user. Amir friend will become more organized and rather to the manipulate. More importantly, Amir will become understand that he cannot fight every battles by sacrifice himself. The closing moment could bring all this development together. After that, the match choices Emirs may believe the worst has the passes. Amir is found out the protected, the immediately trap has the failed. Nas remained beside him, use appeared effective for the moment. There is a new pieces of the information arrive. It could be connected to the alternate DNA report. Nas will see a document showing that the trust was the ring or Caesar may finally send that the message he has was so fried of this send. Nas opened that the information expecting another small clue. Instead, she sees Malik's name connected to her one pass in the way that cannot be explained easily. At the same time, Yusuf may receive news that the evidence supporting Isra has been found. Gali may tell him that he is now on his ones. Malik may release Nas is only one stay away from discovering everything. Rami may understand this lie is about to the collapse. This will create that the perfect ending before every mature characters will that the enters next day with a difficult face. Amir Fair will be the third he can protect Hassan while helping Nal face that the trust. Nal Fair will be discovering that her recovering understand of her family was buried on the lies. Malik Fair will be losing control of that the secrets. Rami Fair will be explosive. Gari Fair will be Yusuf leaving everyone down with him. Yusuf Fair will be that the most important of all, realizing that he losing control over everyone at once. And this is why I believe that the next chapter of the Altı, Üstü, Istanbul will not simply continue that the old rivalry, it will change that the meaning of that the rivalry. Samir and the users starting at the young people standing on opposite of the money, powerful football pride and the social power. Now this conflict carried that the future of their families, the safety of their friend and the secret they were hidden long before their crack first began. Samir will enter his periods believing Hassan treatment is his biggest responsibility. By the end, he may reveal that his real challenge is learning how to the trust that the people fighting beside him he cannot save Hassan's sport. Nas protect Ira win that the match recovered that the money uncover Malik's secret and expose user completely on his one trying to do everyone himself is exactly how is the enemy can break him. Once Amir began sharing responsibility using laws is the greater advantage. User can prepare for one Samir he cannot easily prepare for the armies. Nas, Sadu, Mert, Hassan, Isra and other people are following different pieces of the trust. This is where that the coming battle become much harder. The neighborhood itself may become part of the army. So trend people who once silence could become passing information. Someone may want that the friend about the user movements and the person may protect Hassan. Someone who the previously worked for the Gali may secret help. These small choices can create a mature changes without requiring one the unsalable victory. User will trap each such action as the betrayal. She may become convinced that the army has trust everyone against him. In reality, his one action will have the pushes people away. The destruction will define at the fall. The more user trying to force loyalty, the less loyalty he receives. The more important reality, the more people return it. Malik will the stance between this is to the world. She understands emotional reality better than the user, but she has also choices secretly and the manipulated. Her the coming decision will determine with her she still has the back part, but she see user become dangerous enough to the threaten us directly. Something inside her may change. Even if the Malik has the plan against Amir, helping Nas may be a line she cannot cross. This could become that the moment her the alliance with the user finally break. User may order or plan something involving Nas because he believes user can also be controlling through her. Malik could refuse might then reveal that he know more about the Nas and Malik that she refuses. These confirmations can focus Malik to decide it with her. Protected that the secret is the still word that the damage. She may finally understand that every person trying to hide that the trust has created more pain than the original trust is. I'm encouraged that the same collusion from another decision he may decide preparing to confess his involvement. But before he can do it, someone else may expose that the alter report the leaf Rami will be that the training to control his the confessions. Nas will be forced not because that the report was the false, but because Rami looked at her while knowing that the trust was being taken away from her. Trust will become that the real victim of that the sick trust. Even after Nas learned that the trust repairing their relationship will take much longer. They give that the series plenty of the future story without endlessly reading that the same information. The river can happen and become that the emotional consequence can become that the next mystery. How does Nas accept Malik? How does she treat Lazin? Can she forgive Remy? Does she believe other people? Why she he think to the protect him? Does knowing that the trust may have the feel incomplete, but does it make her the feel even more alone? Even will be alone to the answer this is question for her. His role will simply be to the stay. This may be exactly what Nas need for user watching the bond survive another crisis with the reopen his the anger, yet by then he may be a bigger problem than the jealousy. The associations against him could become connected to the official consequence if evidence becomes strong enough. User may need to the high create the alibi or the pressure witness. Gali must refuse it to help because helping would expose himself. Malik might also distance herself. User could add the trust toward that the one method. He still trusted against into that the situation were about door downs together. This could become that the foundation of the following which was stories. Instead of trying to the win, user may become thinking if he cannot all is the life, Amir could lose his the too. This could make him more mature dangerous. A person fighting for the victory still has the limit because he wants someone left at the once. A fight because only to destroy someone may ignore this is limited. Image will stand at the train. He may tell his friend that Uze is no longer believing as someone who expects to win. The realization will change his strategy for defending him to prevent it a disaster. The story can then move from rivalry into that the true against consequence. But before reaching that the stage, this coming section must complete that the transformation or the beginning. Samir become that the more faithful leader. Nars become an active seeker of her one the trust. Hacker becomes someone making decisions rather than the only someone being safe. Sadhu and the Mar become partners who can carry separative part of that the fight. Risa become that the person. This is courage open that the door of the other people to the speak. Rami become trapped in seed that the lie is the created. Malik discovered that the hiding one the secret can require hurting many innocent people. Gali preaching user may no longer be useful and the user become learning that the control can disappear faster than it was rebuilt. This may be made prediction after receiving that the previous event and the newest official setup. The next stories will look like in the about a match, Hassan Money and Easter Association, but underneath all of this is even it will exactly that we will about control, who control that the trust, who control Naspas, who control Hassan Refute, who control that the football opportunity, who control that the neighborhoods, who control use them. And more importantly, can Samir also trying to control every dangerous himself and the finally trust that the people beside him? The answer to that the final question may decided everything. If Damir continue, everyone who problem alone user trap can still work. If Amir turn his friendship into that the real team, the trap will become closing around that the person who created it. By the first moment, Uze may look around and sees everyone terrified. Amir's may has never becoming weeper. Every attack was teaching him something. Every loss was created him more closely to his friend. Every secret user trying to use was creating another person determined to uncover that the trust. Every attempt to isolate Amir was giving someone else a reason to stand beside him, and while Amir was slowly learning how to share that the way user was slowly pushes away everyone who might have to save him from himself. This is why that the next chapter could make that the true beginning of the user fail. Now becomes Amir suddenly become more powerful than him, not because all that the secret solving in one night, nor because Ghalib disappeared Malik immediately confusing Uzair become that the system protected him storm cracking for the civil direction at the same time. Ras has the spoken, Amir is the searching. Naz is the questioning, Rami is the fitter, Malik is disappear, Galip is the calculating, Hassan refuses to the remind helpful, Sadhu and the martyr learned from the every previous step at the match give all of this attention one place to the export. The final result may not give Amir a complete victory. In fact, he could make that the damaged information the match may be damaged. The tribal memory may offer incomplete many Nas as they discovered that the trust that live were emotionally shared. Someone may have injured because user plan goes too far. But even if the Amir lost something in the short term, Suzy can still suffer that the biggest defect Amir losses can bring her the people closer. User action can feel like that he is more alone. This story has reaching that the story point where that the difference matter more than any crore. And has that the next stress begun, the greater danger may no longer be where that the user has the plan for the army. The greater danger may be what user does also releasing his the plan has the fail because when that the person who was well defected on control finally losing that the control he has one uses. He can face himself when he can trying to defect everyone around him. Everyone we have saved from the user suggested that he will closing that the second part before he is ready for the sum. The closing will put Amir Nas Hassan Malik Ghalib Rami Isra Sadhu Mart and eventually that the whole neighborhood into a much larger confrontation. The football field may begin that the crazy but it will not contain it, that the real battle will separate into family or secret friendship and the hidden history that the people have spent trying to the worries for the army willing is no longer while defecting user is a simple movement. Willing will keep keeping her one character while everyone around him try to force him to become someone else, and he can do it. User may discover that the one thing memory and the fact cannot defect is the person who knows exactly why he's fighting and when is there. That the next journey of Altı Üstü Istanbul is likely heading Altı Üstü Istanbul. Nas move toward that the trust while Amir faces a new kind of the war. The next stage of the Altı Üstü Istanbul can become much more emotional because that the danger surrounding army is no longer coming from one only decisions. Until now, most of the tension could be understood through that the fine before Amir and the user, but that the story has this story become larger than the worry Hassan treatment Nas hidden past. DNA result is the association Galib calculation, the football match and the growing field user and that are the moving toward each other. After that, the one reviewing the previous sections, Army may believe that the surviving that the latest trap has been some breathing space. The field will probably not long last. User may fail have to the achieve. The complete victories may be wanted, but failure will not make him disappear, it will make him more disappear. At the same time, Nas will begin asking more the serious question about her past, and the answer she finds may create an emotional crisis that the even army cannot solve for her. This is why that the next fail should not treat as a simple confrontation of the all conflict. It can become that the point where every hidden decision starts producing consequence. Nas is likely to become that the emotional center of the part of the story for a long time. She has been surrounded by the people who know more than they are worried to say. Some of them may believe they are protected her while others are the protected themselves. From Na's point of view, however, that the result is that the same. When his one life has been explained through her one incomplete story, she has been expected to escape answer without knowing with her. This is answer are the clue. The confrontation with the assassin can finally change that. Even if the assassin does not reveal everything at once, Nas may here to understand that the story she has been given cannot be trusted. When that happens, he will stop asking with her stopping his been heading and starting asking exactly who is hiding it. This change is important because Nas will no longer behave like someone waiting for the permission to learn that the trust. She more becomes fitter that the more active, more direct, and more suspicion of the people she can be trusted. She could begin drawing there the old photograph record their family stories and memory that once seemed unimportant. Someone has some has the date or an old picture could become a mature clue. A name mentioned usually years also suddenly become meaningful. A place Malik avoid distressing might return to the Nas mind. The mysteries will become personal in the new way because Nas will understand that the answer is no hidden something for why it is just standing close to her. At first, Nas may try to become carry his research alone. She could become this involving Amirs will place another problem on his shoulder why he is already. She may also fear if the Amir she has complicated her the family situation is he will begin looking at her differently. That will make sense because Nas is interior and a state where his identity itself feel uncontained. When the person start questioning that the person who raised them, the past become unstable. Now may feel that she does not know when memory are the real. In such a conditions, even love can feel dangerous. Amir, however, is unlikely to stay away when he listens when Nas is going there. The important difference this time is that he may not rush in this promise to fix everything. After everyone experience with the Hassan, he may understand that some pain cannot be solved by fighting someone. Naz does not need decided when she was now. She needs someone who will beside her while she decided for herself. This can become one of the quietest but the stronger changing in the army character. Instead of trying to control Naz's investigations, Amir may help her find information while allowing her to make that this final decision. This will separate him from the Malik Sassin, Sammy and everyone as he has been decided for the Nas who asking her Amir may not have the answer but honesty can become his greatest strength. Now he becomes someone he will tell her. If he does not now she become admit it. This simply honesty will become more vulnerable to the Nas that any dramatic promise. This closeness will therefore grow in the difficult way that Yuze expects. Yuze may think Amir is winging Nas because he appears heroic or because he is always because doing dangerous situation. The trust will be painful for the Yuze. Naz will trust Amir because Amir does not treat her as someone to the process. He gives her the space. He accepts that he may disagree with him. He did not need to control every choice. He is exactly what the user struggle to understand. User jealousy will become stronger as he watches Naz more further away from him. In his mind, every dangerous problem between Amir and the Nas will become another insult. He may begin remembering at the time he believed he could win Nas back if the Amir disappeared from that the picture. Now he will slowly see that the problem is not Amir's presence alone. Even if the Amir was going, Nas trust in the user has been damaged. Be user one section. The realizations can make user more dangerous because he may stop trying to look good in the Nas eyes. Earlier, some of his action may have limited by the hope and Nas could eventually choose him. If he accepts that his hope is the disappearing, he may feel he has nothing left to the protect. This is where his anger can change from the manipulation into destruction. Malik will see he is raging before others do. She has the joint user plan because their interests ever low. But she will understand this is a disappear user cannot be controlling easily. A plan that originally focused on hurting Amir may suddenly begin treating Nas. Malik can treat him anything. One protected a secret when it Nas becoming that the direct target Malik may face are the real she cannot cross. This is where that the hidden relationship because Malik and the Nas can even protected Malik choices even before Nas discovered that the trust. Malik may secretly protected Nas from one of the user plan without explaining why the action could create suspicion. Nas may notice that the Malik react to this strongly with her. She is in danger. She may remember other movement. When Malik concerned that did not normal small emotionally ten can become clues. Noel become asking herself why the Malik cares so deeply about contained part of her life. Why does Malik become uncomfortable when the past is mentioned? Why she react to the DNA test while she know that information she should not know? Why does she see frightened by the Nas question instead of simply for questions? When Nas becomes seeing Malik through this lens, almost every interaction will feel difficult. Malik may try to the some glamour and more interest to the avoid rising suspicion, but that the question himself can feel strong. A person who involved cannot suddenly stop away. Without creating consciousness, Nas could decide that the Malik's silence in another form of the evidence. Rami's rule will become even more dangerous during this period. She may believe that changing that the end result brought time, but the first result has become a weakness. If Nas for another test, Rami will have this serious problem. He could interfere again. But repeating that the same trick will be much harder, more people, more void involved. This will be more record, more weakness and more trending for something to be wrong. Rami may therefore try to the different methods of trending another result. She could attempt to the confess Nancy another trust is unnecessary. He may tell her that the searching the past will only create pain. He might claim that the first already give a clear answer. He may even suggest the decision is the manipulating her, but every effort to stop Nas can see her the look more suspicion. Nas has reaching a point where warning will no longer scare her away. In fact, that the stronger people warn her that the more contained she will become, that the trust better. She may begin to understand something important. If the past is nearly harmful, no one will be there. It's hard to keep it hidden. These throughout can become that the engines of investigations. Nas may help Nas complete that the information she has received. They can look at the date, people, location and the contradictions. Perhaps season tell that the Malik was present during an important event while Malik previous claimed she was somewhere else. Malik may be somewhere that the DNA test timing while hospital records show anything. Small contradiction with the body pressure Malik could become useful her because he is the better by handling practical detail while Amir is emotionally involved if this is are the document for record or the people who need to be questioned. Malik can the follow through. Armies can save from the user. The division of the responsibility will show that the army group has learned from the previous mistake. The relationship between Amir, Sadhu and Mark can become one of the strongest part of the story because they now face problems they cannot be solved by physical courage alone. They need patience. They also need to understand when Amir is too emotionally involved to make that the best decision. Sadhu may be that the first to tell Amir that the helping Nas does not mean abandoning Hassan. Amir could feel guilty every time he spent time on the Nas mystery. Why his the brother still treatment. Sadhu may remind him that not every responsibility has to be cried to one the person. This idea will continue shaping Samir growth. Malik Hassan may also begin refusing to be treated only as someone who need help. He could take a more active role in that the group. Even if his physical condition limited is, he can observe, think and give advice. Hakan may understand people in the way Ami does not. They may notice emotional changing in the Nas Malik or the user because that the other do. Hassan one frustration can become part of that the stories. Being seen does not remove a person's pride. Hassan may hear seeing everyone organize their life around his the treatment. He may be responsible for the Amir loss opportunity that the guilt can become dangerous if the hacker making decision without telling everyone. For the example, Hassan might hear about an expensive treatment option and decided not to tell Amir because he know that the cost is impossible. She may predict its condition is improving. Amir could later discover that the Hassan has been hiding bad news. This will create a serious argument between them, but that the argument will become from love rather than the anger. Amir may feel betrayed because Hassan keeps something so important hidden. Hassan may respond to that the Amir has been doing that the same way that the thinking dangers connected to the user and the Galibald brother will be focused to see that they have been protected each other through the secrecy. The powerful secrecy connected Hakan's story with the Nas story. In the meanwhile, when Nas is suffering because people did had the trust to protect her, Hassan is hiding that the trust to protect Amir. Amir may receive that the good intention do not always make secrecy right. The relation could influence that the way he believed with the Nas. Instead of the hiding information about Malik to share her pain, he may decide to tell her immediately. This can be one of the most important choices he may expose Amir and the murder discover evidence that the Malik helped Tuesday prepare that the match day trap. Amir must interest may be keep it from Nas because she is already emotionally damaged. When they remember Hassan secretly understand that hiding that the trust will only repeat that the same mistake. Amir tell Nas when they won't found heart may be hurt. She may also understand that the Amir spends her enough to let her feel that the trust can create a new level of the trust between them. The evidence against Malik does not need to reveal everything. It could simply show that the Malik made someone connected to the user plan, made the payment pass information or warned user about the Amir movement. User will immediately question why Malik is so deeply involved. Malik may be trying to explain that she was protecting someone or prevented something worse. Nas will no longer accept incomplete answer. She may tell Malik through her the action that explanation with trust are no longer enough. The confrontation can become emotionally intense even without that the final secret being revealed. Malik may also confuse but stop herself at that the last moment. Her fear will be visible. Nas may fear with more caution. The near confessions can be powerful because you will see how close to that the trust. Malik may spend that the rest of the story regret that did not speak. User meanwhile will be focused a different type of the pressure. Association has seen that the way look at him even if no official action happened immediately. Ramal is disappeared because he won't avoid speaking his name may begin discussing when they now User will hate him because his power depends on the people believing he is untouchable. Once that the children start questioning him openly, fear him weakens, he may respond to restore control by making an example of the someone that the person could be Isra because she was the one who publicly challenged him. But attracting Isra directly will be too obsessed. User may understand someone close to her or create a situation that make her look dishonest, understanding or mistake from the Isra part suddenly because public may be important in the surprise justice she has reason to the like Malik can use Ghalib contact or the knowledge to create about around her. For a short time, this may work. Some people may begin wondering whether it's or they misunderstood what happened. They may feel confident again, but this victory can become another trap for him if Amir and his friend discover that the information against Isra has deliberately received by the user sign if they threaten the idea that he is trying to silence her. And second, witness may also that the pair the witness did not need to be confirm every detail. This may simply place his user at the location or connect it to someone important. This is enough to make his defense weaker. User may react by confusing Amir of releasing that the witness. He may think everyone thought that the worry. In his mind, he cannot oppose him for his one reason. This must all be part of the Amir plan. This thinking will isolated her the future. Ghalib may begin working that the user is becoming too emotional to the perfect. Ghalib spotter become depending on the usefulness. If user create more the problem than this solve, Gali will start preparing another strategy. She may quietly be someone from the army side, not to be caused and the early but to learn when they now. Ghalib may even offer limited help. Regarded Hassan treatment or the money to the great confession, Samir will intentionally distract that the offer. He understands that her from the Ghalib come from the hidden cause. Nas may see that the situation differently. She could agree that if the Hakan's life is involved, they should at least listen. This creates a moral problem. It is the wrong to escape him from that the dangerous person who then help can save someone. Samir may struggle deeply with these questions. Pride will tell him to refuse this love for the Hassan will tell him to consider every option. Sarkhan himself might reject Ghalib help. He may say through the action that he does not want Amir controlling because of him. This can create one of the strongest emotional scenes of the story without needed dramatic dialogue. Hassan could refuse to sign a paper, refuse to accept money or the leave when the Ghalib representative arrives. His choice will show that his value Amir freedom more than easy solution. Amir will be easy anger because Hakan is risking his health at the same time. This will understand exactly when Hassan made that these choices. Gali may be surprised by this. He is used to the people becoming weak when the money is placing in front of her. Seeing Hassan and the Amir refuses his control can make he respect him in a strange way. Respect does not make Ghalib safe, it may exactly make him more interesting. He may begin looking at the Amir as someone for controlling rather than the simple destroying. This will create conflict with the user. Want Amir is gone. Ghalib may believing Amir can be useful. User may interrupt has interest. Ghalib show in the Amir has the betrayal. He may confront Galis or begin acting without telling him. This is where user independence becomes dangerous. Without Ghalib control, user may contact people Galis will never trust. His could create a people using out consider will be forever willing to the furthest. Malik may intentionally support this forever. She may admit distracted, but once she did at the plan. Becoming violent, she may trying to stop it. User was accusing her of the weakness. Their alliance began cracking. Malik made that the threatened to expose someone about Uzer if he continued. Uzer can respond by reminding her that he also now secret. This creates a balance of fear between them. Neither can fully trust that the others now may unknowingly help into that the middle of this conflict. She could follow Malik after noticing suspicious behavior. Malik said Uzer secretly now see that this in together. Naz already suspects Malik is hearing something. Seeing her close to the user after everything that has happened will feel like the confirmation. She may not hear that the confrontation, but she does not need to. The fact they are meeting secretly is enough. Naz could tell Amir when he say. Amir will immediately become worried because he now user is unstable. He may want to the user stay away from the Malik and user until they understand what is happening. Naz may refuse. She has spent too long protected through the arrogance. This created tension between her and the Amir, but it also showed their growth. Amir will have to learn that the concern does not give him the right to control her. They may eventually agree to help her investigate rather than the stopping her. Together, they could follow that the connection between Malik and the user. Their investigations may reveal that the Malik, while involved in the merge trap, they will bring that the prediction full circle. Nas may have decided that the Malik is not simply hiding that the family secret, she is actively involved in the conflicting hurting Amir. Her anger becomes more the stronger at the same time. Malik motivated, she still be complicated. She not truly when the army destroys. She may believe in keeping him busy is necessary to the stop Nas from covering that the path. This is where that the tragedy of the Malik decision become clear. Every action she takes to hide that the trust create no reason for Nas to the search. If Malik had told the truth earlier, she may be focused on painful confrontations. Now she faces Nas anger, Samir's suspicion, uses threat, Amir fear, and at the possibility of the public exposure. The dangerous secret has become more dangerous itself than the trust itself. Samir says him clearly before Malik does. She could secretly approach Nas. At first he may confusing everyone. He might simply want her not to trust that the DNA report. This will be a movement. Nas will immediately ask why Trump may public and the panic leave before explanation. Now Nas has the confirming that the result is fair and reliable. She can return to the Amir villain curtainly. They decided to arrange another test without informing Malik or the Ramid. This crew suspension because that the audience now Malik will discover their plan eventually. The questions because without the topic that the trust allowing or finally confessing because that the result arrive. I predict Malik will seriously consider stopping it again but fail emotionally. She may feel that the places where that the sample is being taken and watched Nas from that the distance for the first time instead of interfering she allowed that the trust to move the forward. This will be at the beginning of the Malik loses Nas over her one fear, but Nas user may found that he will recognize that the DNA secret over him power over Malik if he understand when that the people test as the rival he may using that the information as the blackmail. User could threaten to tell Nasir himself unless she help with the another plan against Amir. Malik may focus as an important choice if she uses Nas. She readed Nas by attacking Amir. If she refuses, user may export that the secret in the clearly possible way. Malik may try to delay him. This is where she could begin secretly working against Uze. She might give him false information about that the Amir. Uze blame Amir will be in the one place but Amir is someone else. The plan fail make Uze suspicion. He start working with her. Malik betray him. Their partnership become almost openly hostile. At the same time, the second DNA test is moving forward. Nas may spend at the waiting period emotionally associated. She should tell Amir that she is afraid of the result with her is the positive or the negative. If he confirms a connection are life changing, if he does not, she is still now some manipulated at the first result. Either way, she cannot return to that the person she was before. Amir will understand that the search for the trust does not always being relief. Someone did to simply remove the comfort of uncertainty. He may not now want to the say show she stay close. The quiet spot can become the foundation of the relationship. Users say them the together and feel exported. His realities can push him to a reckless act. Perhaps he now Amir's after that the match. Perhaps he tried to start that the confrontation when Amir is alone, but Amir may refuse to the react. This will frustrate Uze more than the fight. Uze might Amir angry because Amir make him ill to that the control. A climb Samir is the much harder to the trap. The more Samir refuses to play by user rule, the more unstable user become. This can lead user to the target Hassan again. Hassan is the Amir's greatest emotional weakness, but Hassan is no longer unprepared. After that, the previous attack, Hassan and the group may have the creative way to protect him. If user says someone to the pressure Hassan could secretly record that the interaction. That the recording may become important evidence for the first time. One of the creative proof against him. Amir will want to use it that the recording immediately settlement by waiting until they understand who else is connected. This showed that the growing becoming more the tragedy. They may discover that the person treating Hassan also worked for someone leaked for the Ghalib. Now Ghalib is the put closer to the problem. Ghalib may drink or drink anything. For once, he could be telling that the trust Yuse may have acting without him. This gives Galip a reason to the turn against Yuse. Not morally, but particularly, Gali school secretly providing Samir with a clue proving Yuse acting alone. Samir will not trust him, but that the evidence may be real. Yuse that logic another layer of the prediction as the association becomes stronger at the same time. Maybe that the person connected to the Hassan also gives something about that the one research describe. The search investigations begins meeting. This is exactly the kind of the development that can make that the plot feel fresh rather than the repetitive. Instead of the army fighting one problem after another, one clue opens survivor door. A phone numbers found in the Hassan case connected to the usage number also appear in the Isra story. A payment link to the numbers come from someone associated with the Malik. Some person has access to the places where the DNA report was changed. Suddenly that the character elicits that their secret around him are not isolated. Someone has been moving information between different groups. The person could become a new mystery. Sammy's perhaps did not completely alone when he changed that the DNA result. Maybe another person helped him. That the person could now that the working for the user or the Gali. This will could explain how user learned he should not now. Naz may become associated frightened when she realizes her the private family mysterious has entered user world. She will wonder how much he now Malik fear become unstable. If user now that the trust about Naz he can use it at any moment. Amir will want to protect Naz from that, but again he won't avoid hidden things. He tells her directly that the user may know more than they thought. Naz decided she want to the trust before user can weaponize it. This makes that the second test even more the urgent. Remy may finally confuse this part. He will explain that he tried that result before someone asks him to. He may not intentionally name Malik. Nas will demand to know how. Remy hesitates. The hesitation tells her enough. She belongs to the suspense Malik directly. At that the point Malik may understand. There is no safe way out. If she keeps laying nails, will be discovering that the trust through someone else. If she confuses, she may lose Nas immediately, but at least control how that the trust is the told. Malik prepares itself to speak. Before she can make his move next, it can pretend contact Nas with a pieces of information about her past. The goal is not to help her, it is the hurt Malik and the establish Amir's. Nas receives a photograph document or receive connected Malik to the earlier life. They become that the strongest clue yet. She comforts Malik. Malik can no longer deny that the connection. The full trust may still be delayed, but the emotional wall breaks. Nas resists Malik's lied to there for the long time. His first reactions may be the dare. It could be the complete silence. The silence will be more powerful because Nas is too shocked to know what she feels. She may leave without allowing Malik to explain. Amir follow but give her the spaces. Naz may disappear for the several hours walking through the places connected to her memory. She thinks about every moment with the Malik differently. What can one seem ordinary, how plan fail. Act of the business feel complicated. Moment of the distance feel like the fear. Naz does not know whether she should feel love or the betrayal. The emotional confession will make that revelation stronger than a simple angry confrontation. Meanwhile, Malik will be destroyed by the fact that she the trusted come through the user rather than through her the one confession. She realizes that by waiting too long, she gives user that the power to control that the moment they can finally break her the alliance with him. Malik can decide to her she has nothing left to the protect. If Naz already now that the main secret user blackmail become weaker, Malik can turn against him. She may give arm information about that the match trap, Hassan money or this association. This does not mean make her innocent. Amir will still disturb her. Naz may refuse to forgive her, but Malik can bring trying to repair some of the damage. Yusuf will feel as the betrayal has another proof that another closing Amir over him. His anger become even more personal. He may stop caring about exposing Malik because that the weapons has already been used. Now he focuses entirely on the Amir. The next plan could be more directed. Gali will stop to trying him. This is also father and the son or the mother. Mentor and the protect tension depending on how that relationship is framed can become central. Ghalib may tell user through his action that their war has gone too far. User may believe Ghalib is afraid. He may accuse Ghalib of becoming weak. Ghalib will understand that user is no longer listening. He starts preparing to protect his one position. He should carry access to the money card. People or other responsive users depend on user suddenly find himself less powerful. He may still have contact, but that the full system behind him it disappeared. They force him to become more reckless. Instead of carefully planned attack, he began acting personally. This is dangerous for the army. That's useful for the information because user leave more evidence that you may notice this the chain he wants submit that user is no easier to predict but harder to control. Our disappear enemy does not have a choice that the smartest moves. Amir decided to keep Nas and the Hassan away from the obvious dangers. Nas refused to be hidden as Hassan also refuses. Amir becomes frustrated because everyone he loves is becoming more active. Then he realizes this is exactly that the lesson he has been learning. They are not helpless. He cannot make every decision for him. They create a plan together. Hassan plays in the safe place but remains connected by the phone. Nas continued at the end investigation. Sadovatis used them are followed at the financial trails. Amir focused on the football opportunity and with a new challenge, Ghalib created. This teamwork could become that the strongest sign with Amir is the changing. The football's storylines could also continue because it represents Army future beyond that the current crisis. If every episode become more powerful, only secret and the danger, the dream that the starting much of his journey could disappear. The next part of the football decision may therefore become emotionally important. A message or the club officials could offer Amir's other opportunity. The timing will be terrible. Sassan treatment remain uncontained. Nas has been just a painful information. User is becoming dangerous. Amir may think about refusing that the opportunity. Hassan will not allow that. He could that the Amir through this action and giving a football will not save anyone. This is why Hassan become that the person pushing Amir forward. Earlier Amir fought for the Hassan. Now Hassan fight for Amir future. The brother become more the equal. Amir accept that the opportunity but promise himself he will not abandon that the other. The decision anger user become Amir life is still moving toward despite every attack. User may have expected Amir football to destroy his football dream. Since Amir becomes stronger, Gali will also become interested in the football opportunity. His school trying to influence it at the club or the course. Perhaps he want to the block Amir. Perhaps he want to control that the opportunity. Third way Amir listed that the football world is not separated before that. The power struggle he will need to succeed without becoming dependent on the Ghalib. This creates a new type of the challenge on the field. Amir can prove himself through the skill of that the field powerful people can still manipulate the decision. Nas may encourage him not to give up. Their rule serve Amir supported Nas through her the family crisis. Nas support Amir through that the football pressure. This create a balanced relationship that they begin becoming a true couple emotionally even if they have not decided everyone openly. User noticed this, the closeness and becoming increasingly isolated. He made one try the final emotional approaching toward the narcissist of the treaty. He could become himself as someone who understands her pain. He may say that his behavior that the army cannot understand that the family secret the way he can. But Nas will recognize that the manipulation, the old version of her mind has the listening. The new version has turned to the question's motive. She leave uses left with no emotional part back to her. The moment can become that the final break between them. After that, user no longer predict these actions are connected to the love. His worry become pure obsessions. Malik may warn Amir that user is planning something serious. Amir will not intentionally trusted her. Nas may believe Malik this time because she now Malik has a turning against user. This creates an comfortable temporary alliance. Amir, Nas, Malik, Sado and the Mart may all need to the work together enough so the trust between them is the damage. Hassan could be the person who remind everyone that stopping is the danger matter more than the setting every emotional issue immediately. They discover is they trying to reach someone connected to these associations. Perhaps he want to pay that the person to disappear. Perhaps he want to destroy evidence. They give evidence Amir are chained to traps usually legally or publicly instead of protecting him physically. That one document what is he is doing. This will show Amir's growth. He no longer need to win with his fields. He can slap user expose himself. The plan may almost succeed, but user realizes he is being watching a case, so confirmations follow doing that. The confession's important evidence is those toward the damage. For a moment, it seems user has escaped again. The murderer he made a copy. This will be satisfying payoff from the group involving planning. The evidence may no longer be enough to solve everything, but it can prove user tired to interfere with the witness. Public opinion sharply against him. Ghalib distanced himself completely. People who fear user stop helping. His association become real at the same time. The second DNA result arrived. This arrived a parallel crisis. User lost control of the present while Nas finally gained access to the past. Nas hold that result but cannot open it. After everything she suffered, she is suddenly afraid of uncertainty. Ami does not touch that the envelope. He did not tell her what to do. He simply stayed near her. He finally opened it. The result confirmed that the connection she feared all this bodies. Her world changed. Might once someone get else, knowing that the moment she arrived, Nami now his life is the finished. Oceans now that the past can no longer remain hidden. Nas may not immediately run to the Malik she need time. The trust give her an answer but also create husband of her question. Why she kept away? Who made that the original decision? Did Malik want her? Did Malik know where she will? All this is when she is now. Why did Rami change that detail? When she says she remains silent, how did the user now every question open another emotional word? They give that the story room to continue without repeating that the mystery. The question is no longer with her Malik and the Nas are the connected. The question because what that the connections mean now Malik may want forgiveness to the quickly. Nas will be ready. She refuses to the speak with her. Malik may accept it that the trust does not realize that the damage. This can become a strong character journey for the Malik. If she truly cares about the Nas, she must stop trying to control that the outcome. She has to tell that the trust and allowing Nas to the closest one. The happen test. The lesson mirror Amir growth about Amir and the Malik care about Nas. The difference is that the Amirs learned to respect her the choices while Malik spent too many closing for her. Malik now to the learn what Amir already understood. Using Malik understand may discover that the DNA test result has been revealed. His blackmail is useful. Malik is no longer under his control. Naz hated him for using her past as a weapon. Ghalib held his trophies away. His association is the gaining sport. His match plan failed. His power is the failing. The combination can push away into more danger. Stay yet, he may decide that if he cannot control that the story, he will create large enough to make everyone forget that the old secret. A new one could be plans. Perhaps he target that the football clubs. He try to the evidence. Perhaps he take Hassan treatment money and they disappear. Perhaps he tried to force Amir into a final confrontation whenever he chooses. The important point is that he no longer has a long time strategy. He acts from the anger. Samir will understand this. He now is now capable of doing something that even Gali would consider too dangerous. The group cannot relax, simply become public opinion has turned against him in some way. User is more dangerous now that she has vast power. Until before he has something to protect. Now she feel he is losing everything. Nas may become the target because user blame. For her, the choices Samir and for breaking alliance with him, Malik will be terrified by his possibility. For the first time, she may openly ask Samir to protect Nas. Nas will hearing that she did not want Malik decided against that she need protection. Amir will hidden that the situation differently. He will tell Nas why they now and let her help decided that the plan they could be very important for the Nas after spending so long being controlling by the secret. Someone finally thread has had equal in a dangerous situation. She may closing to stay with the greater rather than the side. User expected her to become a weakness. Amir must protect and sees Nas become one of the team working against him. He has always underestimated that the people around Amir. He thinks friendship is the weakness because it gives enemy something to the target. It does not understand that friendship also gives Amir more eyes, more courage, or more information and more reason to the survive. The coming confrontations can prove it. Users that are trapped for the Amirs. Nas notice that the information manipulation. Sadu notice that the physical danger. Smart notice that the practical inconsistency. Hassan notice that the personal detail. Malik recognizes Yuze the planning style. Together they understand that the trap before Amir under it. This is how Yuze can be effective without making Amir underestimate perfect. Amir victory comes from the people around him. They will hurt User deeply because it highlights everything he lacks. The confrontation may still because dangerous. User could appear unexpectedly. Amir will have to protect someone. A fight may happen, but the emotional outcome matters more than the physical one. User look around and see that no one is standing beside his willingly. Even Galis may refuse to the refractions. Malik stand with the Nas stand with the Amir, Sadu and the Mert remain united. Its association has broken the silence. Use their final let the see of his choices. He may still refuse the responsibility. He could blame everyone else. The refuser keep his file moving. Gali may decide that the only way to protect himself is to give information against Uze. This will be a mature betrayal. Uze will feel completely abandoned, but Gali will see his as his survival. The relationship between them could become another war. Yuze now too much about the Galib now too much about Yuze. If they turn against each other, secret for bigger than the army original problem could begin coming out. They open a new direction for this series. Army discovered that the fire will Yuze was only the surface. Galib will contain other hidden enemies and decisions connected to many characters. Malik entered that the past may connected to this secret Nas story's family could be tied to the same network. The story can then expect naturally instances of repeating Amir versus user forever. The reward become that the door to a larger history. Nas revelation may reveal that the past of their family has repeated that the present in way they never know. Perhaps Malik decided to make choices years ago because of the presence from someone connected for the Gali maybe season keep silence because she was afraid of the same people. Sammy trained at the DNA result not only for the Malik but because another person threatened him. This will make that the family secret and crime story connected more deeply. Amir made Lysis that the user is dangerous but also partly shaped by the systems Galib created. It did not exist user, it simply makes that the conflict more complicated. User could have the threatened differently many times. He repeatedly closes control. Amir faces different hardship repeatedly closing realities. The contrast remains central. The next section of the story could end with the similar mature season changing Nas thought that the trust about her connection to the Malik but has now forgiven her. Samir and the Nas are closer than the one because he supports her without controlling her. Hassan has always become more active and refuses to let his illness define that the whole family, Sadhu and the Mutt, have proven they are essential to the army's survival. Isra is no longer alone. Is educated user Sammy's lies has been exposing. Malik has the turn against user, but she still faces responsibility for his one action. Galib is preparing to sacrifice Uze to protect himself and Uze is entering that the most unstable period for his life. His setup can lead to an endless where everyone believes Uze has finally been the concerns. Perhaps authorities, witness or community pressure are closing around him. He disappeared for several hours. No one's aware where he has gone. Amir thinks Uze may be running away. Gali believing he has served at the city's Malik Fair. He is coming for the Nadi. Hassan received a message. The message could information about only Uze could. Now he tell Amir that the wall is not finished. There is no need for a long thread. The fact that user can still reach Hassan is enough. Amir listed that the next battle will be difficult. User is no longer fighting him from a difficult protective position. He is fighting from the shadow. They make her harder to predict. Now standing beside Amir understand that her family Trust at the Amir's while are now completely connected. Marie may see that the every secret he learned, Galip understand he cannot simply difference himself because using now too much. Amir fear more hidden evidence will the surface is a worry. User may the silence witness the interior group is pulling into the same danger. Yet Amir is no longer that the person he has at the beginning. It does not immediately run after user alone. It gathers that the other he listen, he think he understand that the next movement belong to all of them. The chain is the real victory of this season. User may still be fierce, Hassan may still need treatments, Naz may still be emotionally broken, Malik may still be the hidden part of the past, Gali may still has power, but Amir is the finally learning how to fight a larger world, not be becoming richer, not by becoming more the violent. Not by the becoming more controlling, he becomes stronger by the trusted other people. This series can use his information to make every future challenge feel difficult. If user attack Hassan, Hassan has a choices. If you target Nas, Nas has agency. If you pressure Sadhu, can make her the one decision. If he manipulated Mer, Smart can expose that the plan. If he threatened Malik, she can reveal when she now. If he hide behind Galib, Galib can no longer protect that. The other old method stop working. Use them if need to the pretend new one. This is where that the suspense can continue. And disappear user may begin investigating Amir past, looking for someone even Amir does not know. Maybe he find information about Amir family, maybe the football opportunities connected to the old enemy, maybe Hassan medical record contains something unexpected. The news mysterious could begin exactly why the Nas mysterious seem close to the resolution. This keeps that the story moving forward. The important point is that the new mysterious should not raise that the emotional consequence of the old one. Nas must still process Malik trust. Hassan will deal with the treatment. Amir will decide how much of his life he can decide to sacrifice. Malik can still earn that. Remy must still face consequences. Issa may still be the protected. Gali must still answer for his choices. Uze must still face it that the fact that fear is not that the same as the respect. All of this is threat can continue together for now that the hardest moment or the come from the first shock passes when everyone stop asking whether she is okay or she will be left alone with the new trust. She will visit a places connected to her childhood. Malik might follow but stay at the distance. Nas could notice her and seeing not to approach. This will show that the forgiveness had no happened. Malik has to accept that later Nas may ask season for the full story. The conversation can reveal detail Malik was to the scam to his claim. Nas learned that some decision was made under pressure. She began understanding that the reason without escaping that the harm. The destructions is important. Understanding does not require forgiveness. Nas can debut love and the anger. Her character become deeper because she refuses simple answer. Amir will respect that the complicity. He will not pressure her to the forgive. This is exactly why the Nas trusts him. User watching from the distance hearing about their closeness will becomes even more concerned. Amir has stolen something from him. He still does not understand that Nas is not an object to be won. The ability to understand become one of his strongest weaknesses. Malik may finally that the user had the problem has never Amir. User may refuse to hear it. He will accuse her of the betrayal. The confrontation could expose another secret. Perhaps Malik revealed that the Ghalib has been using Amis. User laughed it off at the first. Then he began noticing nothing evidence. Ghalib blocked access to the memory. Gali meets someone for the Amir's side. Gali stopping defending him. The idea starting growing using anger shift partly toward the Galib. Now that the two enemies side his mind and Galib and the Amir's. As this divides his attention, he may try to destroy about this is a dangerous plan because Galib is far more experienced than Amir in the hidden war. User could uncontain him. Gali may set a trap of his one Amir and his friend could become between them. At first, Amir may think any fight between Galib and the user is not good news. Sadhu may warn him that his powerful people fighting then hurt everyone around him. The warning proved correct. Galib refused the information that the damage user. The neighborhood begins learning that many secret earlier events were connected to the Ghalib decision. Malik recognized name from her past. Nas releases her the family mysteries may be deeper road. This creates our next mature shock. Where is the separation in the Nas past was not only the family choices. But is outside pressure play a role? When if the Ghalib or someone connected to him benefit him that the trust staying hidden? This is a personal trigger become part of a larger power structure. Some fight against user become connected to the Nasser for identity in a way neither expected. This will create a load at the series to the growing growth without simply investigate random new analysis. New history's relationship already contain enough hidden history. The second sections can therefore end with the new understanding rather than a complete isolation. Nas finally now Malik is to her. But does she now know where the trusts are hidden for so long? Amir has survived another attack, but she also releases Yusei is only one part of the larger problem Hassan has found out regarding treatment, but that the money situations remain dangerous. Ghalib has the weakened Yusei about has his secret beginning to the appear. Malik and the escape use blackmails, but she may still be tied to the Galipa past. Tammy has the confused past of his life, but he may be hiding who the pressure him. Isra has the gain sport, but that the trust faces her. The association may reach much higher than the user. This is how Altı Üstü symbol can move in a bigger chapter. The next phase will not need to become that repeat the same fight. Instead, every character entered that the story with a change position. Samir is no longer simply reacting. Nas is no longer simply questions. Hassan is no longer simply waiting. Malik is no longer simply hiding. Yusei is no longer predicted. Ghalib is no longer invisible behind other people. Rami is no longer safe inside his life. Isra is no longer alone. This is changing, create new possibilities. At the strongest possible moment will come when the army believes he may finally understand that the map of the conflict he has used on one side, Ghalib or another, Nas family secret in the middle. There is a new pieces of the information appearing showing that the lines was never separated. A photograph 40 years ago could show Ghalib, Malik, an important person together. Financial document could connect it and the old payment to the Nas time was separated from her true history. A medical record will contain a name that belonging to the Hassan crime doctors. A witness will reveal that the user did not begin this conflict himself but inheritance information from the Ghalib. Any of this discovery will tell Amir one thing. They were his fighting stated long he know he is expected. They will completely change that the meaning of the anything. User obsession with the army may be personal about that the system surrounding him is the older. Nas secretly may be personal about that the reason it was the reason could be connected to the power. Hassan treatment problem is seen separated, but even that become part of that the same network is someone is manipulated seeks to money or the care. Amir will need to the step thinking only about that the next attack. He had to understand that the history Nas become intentional because that the history run through her the past. Malik become essential because she now more than she is admitted. Nas become essential because he has already proven he will manipulated evidence. Nasser is inventional because her association may connected that the past and the present. Gali become that the person holding many of the missing answer. User become and that they are predictable forcing who may expose everyone simple because he is angry. This creates a dangerous irony that the person enveloped fear made accidentally because that the person who revealed that the trust user could release information to hurt Gali without understanding that it also helped the Nas. It could explain Malik to hurt and accidentally prove Rami's lie. He could attack Amir and accidentally reveal how Hassan money was moved. Every act of the revenge can open another door. The more user try to destroy people, that the other more secret fail out at the systems around him. This is why his collapse can become central to the next stage. Now become he this suddenly become weak, but because his anger responds that the silence that the powerful people depending on. Ghalib may eventually target allowing users so much freedom. Malik may regret trusted him. Rami may fight return regret helping inside information. Nas may hide him but still benefit from that. The secret he exposes. Amir may receive stripping away to earlier could bigger trust the buried. that create a difficult moral questions. How long can we allow user to move between someone gets seriously hurts? Amir will hurt never intentionally at the innocent people remain in the danger just to collect information. But Ghalib might the difference could make Amir and the Ghalib recovery enemies when about one user stop it. Ghalib want to control that the damage, Amir want to protect people. The goals look similar but the matter are completely difficult. This can create the foundation of the next conflict. Nas will probably support Amir because she has already suggested from the people who value control over honesty. Nas will also understand. Sadhu and the Mart may worry that the fighting Ghalib and the user at the same time is impossible. Samir will agree but he may throw this choice that the case's enemy does not make that the other one disappear. This is where his leadership becomes mature. He does not predict that the situation is simple. He accepts that the every choice has a cause. The secret sessions can end with the Samir looking at the Hassan Nas and his friend realizing he is no longer fighting for one goal. He is fighting for a future where none of them has to live under as control. For the Hassan, that means access to the treatment without becoming Gali property. For Nas, it means knowing her the real history without Malik or the Rami decided which she can handle. For the Sadhu and the Mart, it means standing beside Amir without being used as a weakness. For the Isra, it means able to the trust without fear. For Amir himself, it means playing football because he chooses it. Not because powerful people love it. This becomes that the real meaning of the conflict. Nas may believe that the war is about Nas. Ghalib may believe it is about influences. Malik may believe it about secret, Hassan may believe it is about survival, but the Amir secretly see that the larger picture the war is about to get this decided the direction of their life. The understanding will make his the next decision difficult. He will stop saying every insult, he will stop allowing user to choose it at the battlefield. He will investigate guilt quietly. He will help Nasser at the past. He will support Hassan choices. He will protect Issa without controlling her. He will rely on the Sadhu and the Mart. In other hand, he will begin building something stronger than the one who will send that the changing and hate it. He need Amir to remain trapped in reactions. Our calm Amir is the dangerous and united group is the dangerous as Nas who now that the trust is the dangerous and Malik will no longer fear blackmail is the dangerous. A Ghalib who has stopped being protected him is dangerous. And Nisra has it, witness is the dangerous. Arami who might confess is the dangerous. Uses duly listens, he is surrounded by the people who each one part of his downfall. His realizations may lead to the final act of the disappear. Hulk could decided to bring everyone decided in one place using the full promise or the emergencies. Perhaps he claimed to have Hassan money, perhaps he say he has proof about Nas past, perhaps he tell Hasra he is ready to the confess. Different people arrive for the different reason, use a plan to control that the situation is everyone come prepared. Matrikor Sadhu watches against assist. Malik now uses habit. Nas refuses to be emotionally manipulated. Hassan stay connected from the safety. Army did not attack first. Uze began losing control of that the meeting. He revealed more than he did. Meanwhile, that he mentioned a detail about the DNA test. Only the person behind that the manipulation shocks will now. Nas here aid Malik Lacey use has exposing himself. Ghalib Noor come up. Isra recognize another detail. The trap turn around. User understand too late that bringing everyone together connected that the information they carried separately. This could be the perfect climax for the sections. The group finally see that the full pattern now that the complete trust were enough to know what to investigate next. User become or pulled away because everyone ended his remind at the threat, but he can no longer threat to his old prediction position. The first emotional sense belonged to the Nas. After all the choices he made, Malik again the time Nas does not ask with her that the connection is real. She asks for the complete stories. Malik understands there can be more partial trust. The next chapter will begin with the first finally being told property. Amir went outside. He did not enter unless Nas was. The small action show everyone he has done. He is close enough to spot her, far enough to respect her. Nas looked toward him before entering. He will still be there when she returned. For the first time since her research began, she does not feel completely alone. Meanwhile, somewhere else, user receiving note that the Ghalib has moved against him. His expression changing. The war with Amir is no longer his only fight. He only wants revenge on the person who once protected him. Ghalib prepared his one response. Malik began telling Nas that the trust Sami way to learn with his rule will be explosive. Hassan received new information about the treatment schedule and the month examined that the evidence collected from the user. Amir stand beside all these stories, understanding that the next fail will be even larger. Nothing has returned to the normal, but that the balance has the change, and that the change is what makes that the future of Altı Üstü Istanbul so dangerous. The old secrets are no longer safety buried, the old alliances are no longer stable, the old secret thread are no longer enough. Everyone will need new clothes. Nas will have to decide if her blood is enough to rebuild a relationship with the Malik. Malik will have to decide with her telling that the trust matter more than protected herself. Rami will have to decide with her to confess it fully because someone asked to expose him. Gali will have to decide with her user his enemy were destroyed or her secret were protected. Amir will have to decide how far she is willing to go now that the people finally believe her. Hassan will have to decide whether he can accept help without allowing his jealousy to control his brother's life. Amir will have to decide how to continue football while fighting a battle that reached into almost every part of his life. And Joseph will have to decide whether he still want to win or whether he simply want everyone else to lose. The final choices will determine that the darkest part of the story because it's the user choices, destruction over victory. The next try will be more designed to give him something. It will only be designed to take something for the army. They may predict his next much more harder. He may trigger football because he represented army's future. He may target represents, but he represents army finally. He may target Nas because she represents army emotionally hope. He may target Saidu and the Mar because they represent loyalty. He may target Isra because she represented trust. Or he may target Gali because he represents that the power user through will always protect him. Any of these direction can move that the story forward. But that the strongest possibility is that the user try to attack several of them at once. This will create that the largest crisis here. The difference is that the Amir and the other are now ready to work together. The trap may still hurt him, someone may still maybe pay a heavy price, but user will no longer be attracting isolated people. He will not be attacking a group that has learned how his mind works. This is why section 2 of his prediction ends with a completely difficult balance from where it started. Nas becomes searching for the trust that they threatened her by the end. She may now dare to take her off his history. He began crying every punishment on his shoulder. By the end, he may finally understand that leadership means trusting other people. Hassan began at the person everyone wanted to say. By the end, he may become one of the person saving Amir for the terrible decision. Malik began by protecting a secret. By the end, she may understand that the secret is destroying that the very person she wanted to protect. Rami begins believing when the first report can close that the problems. By the end, the report may become that the evidence that exposing him. Sisra began has the one choices making and the association. By the end, other voices may be standing beside her. Gali begins understand believing he would manage Uze. By the end, he may see Uze is becoming a threat to his interior system, and Uze begins believing at one plan could restore his control. By the end, he may discover control is the one thing he has truly lost. This is exactly that the Knave is becoming excited. The story is no longer need one the simple villain and one the simple hero. Every character crazy from that the past. Every secret has the course. Every